Let's check in with Alan Bestwick. I think he's caught up with Brandon Miller.
Yeah, by far the hardest crash we've seen all day. Brandon, you'd gotten the car up into the top 10, and then what happened?
Unfortunately, looks like the 42 got into the back of us, getting into 3. Just really unfortunate for Dollar General and Wally and all the boys at KHI that helped us out. Just a tough deal. We had a good car. We were working on it all day, but I got to thank Kevin and Delana for giving me the opportunity to come do this. And looks like we had a top 10 car. Just a bummer.
Thanks for the time. Brandon's one of these young guys trying to reestablish his future and find a ride full-time in this thing, and yes, he had it in the top 10.
And we're looking at what happened to him. As we heard on the radio, Dario Franchitti said, I just didn't have any brakes, didn't mean to do it, but it was a hard enough hit to put Brandon on the trailer.
I really like that interview out of Brandon Miller. I mean, that's pretty classy.
Absolutely right.
You know, I'll tell you guys, you have a wreck with a driver out there, the last thing you want to do is get out and scream and holler and point fingers, because you know what? What goes around comes around. And I will promise you, you'll get in that position one time. And you don't want to get on live television and have that stuff talking about you.
That's right, but they also gave him a minute to cool off. If they would have grabbed him as soon as he come off that racetrack, boy, it might have been a little different.
And take a look as Stephen Wallace has moved into the top 10 now. He's up to 9th position. His best finish in the Busch Series, as you saw, 11th. So as we get ready to go back to green flag racing, 39 laps to go, and David Rudiman still in front. Scott Wimmer second, Mike Bliss in third. This is deja vu all over again. There's Cale Gale still trying to hang on. He's 1 lap down.
And right now, Carl Edwards has moved up into the 11th position, guys. Remember, we talked, he needs to finish 8th or better to get this championship. And with what's going on, and as fast as his car is coming through the field, that could happen. Now he's getting ready to pass Stephen Wallace. And Stephen's in the 10th position. He's coming, guys. He could get this championship today.
He really could. There's enough time. He goes on the low side, trying to get underneath Stephen. There you are on board, coming out of 4. Doesn't have the magic number. Now notice Stephen told him, said, go ahead, take the corner.
And that was a smart decision out of Stephen. You got a faster car, take the inside, go ahead. I'm going to follow you through. And here comes Jason Keller, the number 11 car, coming on the inside of Stephen also. And boy, that turn 3 is the one that gets them in there. It's like a sucker turn.
Yes,
it sucks them right down in there deeper than they want to go. And man, they crash.
There is Carl. He's got Jason Leffler right in front of him. That is Stephen Light in the 90 car on the right side. And meanwhile, we'll just tell you that Rudiman and Wimmer are sort of pulling away along with Brisk. McMurray really seems to be holding up this whole group behind him. These 3 guys have sort of checked out. There they are, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, with 35 laps to go here at Memphis. And there's McMurray with a lot of guys trying to get around him.
That's right, and there's a lap car. Cal Gale is doing a great job right there. But you know, when it comes to a point where you got to let the next guy go, which you just did.
There's David Ragan. Look at Marcus Ambrose. Oh, got a little crossed up trying to get underneath the 20 car.
That's another car. Marcus Ambrose gets deep in the corner and roughs up this left side of the 20 car of J.J. Yaley.
Let's get an update on the 26 car. Vince?
Jamie McMurray has commented that the car has gone from free to loose, and they believe quite a bit of that might have to do with the weather. The shadows have now crept across almost the entire part of the racetrack, and they have felt that the car has changed as the weather has changed. We feel that temperature's starting to dip down here trackside as well. So McMurray's car going away from him. He had hoped to challenge for the win. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case now.
While all that's going on, we'll tell you Carl Edwards has moved up to 9th. The magic position for him is 8th. If he finishes 8th or better, it doesn't matter if Rudiman wins this race. Championship done.
And right now, Keller's not giving up to Carl because Carl moved into 9th and Keller passed him back. And now Carl fell back in the 10th position. And there was a lot of swapping around going on between the 4th position or down in the 11th position. So these drivers are bumper to bumper. You see Landon Castle getting in the corner right now. Ooh, awful close to Carl Edwards.
And that is 4th position. I mean, Castle is fighting it out for that 10th spot.
For an 18-year-old rookie, I tell you what, he's learning a lot, and he has a better car. And he's trying to dig.
Yellow's out, turn 4.
trying to see who it is. It looks like it's the 43 of Bobby East, the 16 of Colin Braun. So it is now our 24th caution on the track.
Tell you, poor old Bobby East has been in a lot of cautions today, but he's learned a lot, that's for sure. Kick Butt is his sponsor. Looks like he's got his butt kicked a lot today, that's for sure.
Well put. Let's take another look.
And they're all stacking up, Randy, just like you said, all day long.
That's right. Middle of 3 and 4, it's accordion, boy.
Yeah, it looked like Ron Young in the 71 was a little slower than East expected, and he just couldn't woe it down, and neither could the 16, and here's the end result. Caution number 23, I guess. Is it 23 or 20? 23. Okay, so, man, I'm losing track. I'm run out of fingers and toes. I mean, I'm up to a calculator.
Yes, sir.
Coming up next will be college football primetime. And then it'll be number 9, Kansas and Texas A&M. We want to remind you of that. And also remind you that Happy Hour will be seen at 12:30 on ESPN2. And there's some of the damage from this latest incident for Colin Braun.
Dr. Jerry Punch and Andy Petrie and his entire gang there at Atlanta did a great job covering Happy Hour today. We're just going to have to wait real late to see it.
That's right. Yeah. This is a happy 4-hour race.
Even with you flying back, I'm not sure you're going to make it in time.
Oh, I'll get back for late dinner. No problem, guys.
Look at this. This is a familiar scene. What's that promotion we have? Every lap counts. The guys are banging on the fenders. That's been done a lot today.
Absolutely right.
Well, right now, Carl Edwards is our chase contenders in 10th position.
He needs 2 more spots to guarantee the championship. It doesn't matter what David Rudiman does if Carl can pick up 2 more positions in the next 29 laps.
Well, you know it. The guy is racing, is leading the race, dominating the race today. It seems like it always happens that way. David Rudiman leading this thing. He's led a ton of laps today.
Rudiman has led 162 laps, and the driver leading the most laps has only won 2 of the 8 prior races here, and obviously he's got the most laps led clinched.
You know, they had a test session this year at Richmond, Virginia for the Busch Series. I watched David Rudiman go to that test session and noticed that his car, they learned something in that test session, Randy. The front of that car was real low. They got the coil binding setup worked out.
Yes.
And talking to David, he said that was a key test for him.
That's good. Anytime you can test, Rusty, you know, as a car owner, you know, it is just a major league plus. The only damage the 99 has on it was during qualifying when he slapped the wall.